for people that are not here. But if you could go to, it used to be class5.com, but Smart Notebook, like the software updated, so it's not Smart Notebook anymore. It is. HelloSmart.com. HelloSmart.com.
Next system is defined smart. You can't plug this one straight into the top.
No, I think we have like a contract with Smart Notebook that the updates are free. It's like a little warm up to get our brains going. HelloSmart.com, 880.
Hello smart.
Hello Smart, Hello Smart.
Yes,
.com.
it's not work. What was that?
Are you guys in? I think you're connected students. One of them is Max and one of them is Spooky.
I can't.
Wait, what?
Oh, no, it's not me. How am I connected? There's nothing on my screen.
I don't think I'm getting this.
Oh, there we go.
Is there supposed to be a space?
There's no space behind it.
Hey, I didn't say, because it wouldn't let me go.
Let me go.
It's loading.
Nope.
It
It was not gonna load if it's like not on.
Why did you
Do you have all these decorations last year?
Yes.
No,
I like that one. Bummer.
Oh wait, I wasn't in here last year. This time. I was in art, but I dropped.
This kind of makes me feel like more than spooky season.
It's like spooky, but then that just says Christine with candy, and it's not scary at all.
Right. And this one is a cow dressed up like a ghost.
Oh, I get it.
Okay. She's hello smart.
We didn't.
Yeah, hello smart.
We didn't play.
How do I like submit my answer?
We ended on it.
I told you the definition earlier on in the class.
Is this cow poison?
Is this a grade?
Major grade.
Oh, what?
Major grade.
Oh, be serious.
No, Sam, it's a warm-up, like I said earlier when I
So
said.
it's not a grade.
No,
Some
Sam.
teachers are also grades. They warm ups, they're actually just grades.
Read something else.
That's just what they do.
Oh my gosh, who brought me these?
Valerie. I didn't.
Valerie, really? Oh, they're beautiful. I love them. Ninja Turtles. And space stickers.
And they're big.
I know they're like puffy. They're like 3D.
Throw away the other ones.
I'm gonna throw away the other ones. Oh my gosh, they're like glitter.
You don't need extra points out of
No, yes, yes.
I mean, if you want to give them to me, that's her choice.
I don't know.
Okay, yay, the 7 of you that participated,
Oh,
and
wait.
boo to the 3 of you that did
I
not.
was
It would have gotten it right.
Okay, so the correct answer is, yeah, the one with lowest opportunity cost. We have one more question, and it's gonna be on our phones. Give it about 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1.
Like a straight line like this?
A line that is straight.
A line that is
Not
which
curved.
way? Not this way.
Okay. This way?
Like a diagonal? Like, let me just draw a picture.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it looks like someone was this way. Come on.
Don't forget to submit your answer.
It's really easier. And then like you're out of this world. But then you have fun.
It's the thought that counts.
every year.
I also didn't want to tell you this one.
Thank you.
Well, I told you.
And thank you. But mainly thank you about that. Okay. What are we waiting on? Don't even know. Don't care. Hooray! Yes, opportunity cost is constant. And that's what we're talking about today.
There's not enough of us.
So, if you could, get at your table that we started yesterday. Hey, Zoe,
So I
got your binder together, but you're missing one thing.
so I need to find her. So the one thing is the
I am
missing one that
Yes, we're doing today.
Okay.
Do I have contents?
That's what you put like on the thing. What's it?
That is the table of contents.
Okay.
That's literally.
Also wanted to know. So I have it in the order of notes handouts, quizzes, and marquees. But do I need to have like dividers or like notes, quizzes, or I think they just construction paper or like. I don't.
Yeah, look at cardstock.
Yeah, we tried to start. Oh, and then Valerie, did I choose them? No, I was going to, and I was going to. Oh, yeah, I did give you some.
Oh my gosh, Tracy said.
La la la. Plastic. Ooh, can I have one of those?
How expensive these things are?
She's just so terrible. How much these cost?
Thank you so much.
You want one? Okay.
I just want to protect my table content. Oh, one's bigger than all the other ones.
Yeah, well, sorry. Okay, here you
I
go.
like it.
These are the things.
That would be like
It was a
perfect.
compliment.
So did we squiggly line it? We did, and we wrote comparative advantage underneath. Comparative advantage.
Because there's an
Nice. Yeah. All right.
Julian like the black.
Remember, this could be those numbers. I don't know what they are. It could be an input problem or an output problem. Ethan, if this was an input problem, what kind of title or description would this graph have? This table. Remember how we said that these are input problems and then we came up with ideas for like what inputs and outputs are? Give me a scenario where those numbers make sense for an input problem.
Oh.
That's when
Yeah, so that might be days needed to make something or the hours it takes to make shoes and cloth. So Valerie, if that is the hours it takes to make shoes and cloth, who has an absolute advantage in making shoes? Any, if it's 2 hours, it's faster than 3 hours. Sabrina, who has an absolute advantage in producing cloth then? India, again, because they're faster, like almost twice, like more than twice as fast. Because 5 hours is less than 12. But to figure out comparative advantage, we're not looking at like hours, we're looking at opportunity cost. And we're looking for whoever has the lowest opportunity cost. So you're looking for lowest opportunity cost. You're looking for lowest opportunity cost. We'll figure out the opportunity cost of cloth and shoes. A little trick to do the math. Here's how you do the math. It becomes the numerator. N for numerator, N for an input problem. So numerator starts with an N, and the word input has an N in it. So it becomes a numerator. It becomes a numerator if it's an input problem, and that's how you figure out opportunity cost. So I'll show you what that means in just a second. It becomes a numerator, because that doesn't really make sense right now.
Your input becomes.
You'll see. Yeah.
So I'm sure you're.
Hold on. Yes, the numerator is the number on top of a fraction.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. I'm recording a lesson today. I'm not going to be in meeting.
Aww.
So,
This is a shorter lesson.
yes.
I like your video, how it had really quick pictures, like, yikes. Your video for the whoever won.
Oh.
You know, it's just your face, you're like.
Okay. So it becomes a numerator. N for numerator, N for input. So if this is the number of hours it takes to make, then you just pick a number. Let's start with China. The 3 becomes a numerator over the other thing that China does. And so the other thing that China is doing is cloth, and that's number 12 for China. So 3 becomes a numerator over 12. 12 now is going to become the numerator. It becomes the numerator over the other thing China does, which is 3. Down to India, it becomes a numerator. It's going to be 2 over 5, which is the other thing that India can do. And then 5 is going to be the numerator over 2, which is the other number for India. So it becomes a numerator, and then you just drag the other numbers across. So now let's simplify. So, Max, what's 3 over 12? Simplify it. 1/4. 1 over 4. You can put it in decimal form, you can keep it a fraction, whatever, doesn't matter. China, what's 12 divided by 3? 4. The reciprocal. 2/5 can't be simplified, so I'll just practice over. And 5/2, Sam? Simplify? 5 over 2? Yes. So I don't like improper fractions. 2.5. Yeah, 2.5. Okay. That makes sense.
2 over 5 is 24, which we shall have.
Okay. I need thumbs today. I need to make sure as soon as I lose you or like I get you. Okay.
I think those things are right.
Those are me.
This much. Oh, whatever. I don't like, what is it? You have 2 and then 1. Is it improper? No, improper, but it's 2 and a half. That's an improper. The mixed fraction where it's like 2 and then a half. Okay, improper, whatever. I don't like improper or whatever. Anyway. Thumbs up. I haven't said anything yet, so you can't be lost yet. All I did was put it on the numerator and simplify. Okay. All right, thumbs. Thumbs, here we go. I'm going to say words, and you're going to like, I totally get it, or I'm losing you when I don't get it. Here we go. This is an input problem, so these are like, that's time, or days, or number of factories it takes to make, right? Still good? Number of hours it takes to make shoes and cloth. So these numbers that we just did represents the opportunity cost in making shoes and cloth. That is the opportunity cost. Yes. So, if China was to make shoes, they could have made cloth in that time. If China makes cloth, they could have made shoes in that time. So the cost of shoes, what does shoes cost? Well, it costs cloths that they're giving up. The opportunity to make cloth. And when they're making cloth, they're giving up the opportunity to make shoes. So the cost of cloth is shoes. We're going to specialize. No, stop. Question.
Is the opportunity cost of shoes 1/4 or is it like cloth?
So these units right here are units of the other thing. So this is when China makes shoes, they're giving up 1/4 time to make cloth. And when India makes shoes, they're giving up 2/5 of time, like an hour, to make cloth. So we're looking up for whoever's giving up the least amount of time for each product. So in the shoes column, China's giving up 1/4 time to make cloth. India's giving up 2/5 time to make cloth. Does anyone know what is smaller? Because we're looking for the lowest opportunity cost. So we're looking for the smallest amount of time given up. China is less. 1/4 is 0.25, and 2/5 is 0.4. And so we're looking for a smaller fraction. And yes, it is China because 1/4 is less than 2/5. So I'm going to circle that. How are we doing? China has the lowest opportunity cost in shoes. Let's look at cloth. If China was to make cloth, they're giving up 4 time, like 4 hours, whatever, to make shoes. India is giving up 2.5 hours, let's say, to make shoes. Who's giving up the least amount of time to make shoes? India. So I'm going to circle that because 2.5 is less than 4, and so we're looking for the smallest number, the smallest opportunity cost. And that's who has a comparative advantage. So here's that table again, down here. I put it in decimals, so everyone's covered. Smallest number. No, I'm just saying. So China has a comparative advantage. Sam, which one does China have a comparative advantage in? Which one do they have the lowest opportunity cost in? Shoes. In shoes. So China has a comparative advantage in shoes. So that's what they should make. That's what they should specialize in. And India has a comparative advantage in cloth. And that's what they should specialize in. So even though India is faster and requires less hours, India shouldn't just do everything. You do whatever you have the lowest opportunity cost in. And for China, that's shoes, and for India, that's cloth, if it's an input problem. If those numbers in the table represented hours. Okay. We have an FRQ over this on Friday, which you made are great. So I'm just making sure that we all know what we're talking about. Okay. All right. What if it's an output problem? What if those numbers aren't hours? Rodney, take a drink of water. I am very thirsty.
Also, I have
Yeah. Hey,
It's what you
what is this body feeling? Okay. This is not an input problem. Those aren't hours anymore. It's an output problem. And so what are those numbers? What is made? That is tons made. That is units produced. That is pounds made. 3 pounds or 2 pounds or whatever. And so who has an absolute advantage, Sabrina, in shoes? Because now they can make more. And Jamie, who has an absolute advantage in cloth? Because they can make more. But now we're trying to figure out comparative advantage. It's the same definition over here. We're looking for the lowest opportunity cost. No. No. We're looking for lowest opportunity cost. So when we do the fractions, we're looking for the smallest number. But now we have to do the fractions differently. We're not doing it becomes a numerator anymore. 3 guesses of what it does to code. Okay, I can do the math. I mean, you can say that it becomes a denominator because that's true, but like we had n for numerator, n for input. It's easy to remember. O for output. O for other number goes over. That's still an O. Output, other number, yeah.
So basically just yeah. Just flip it.
You could just flip it. But you change that, you're not going to be doing both. You'll be doing one or the other. Okay, so if you say flip it, it's like one, it wasn't that problem, that makes sense. Other number goes over, so let's go back to our original table. We're looking at 3. What is the other number?
12.
And the other number is going to come over and be over 3. 12 over 3, which we now know is 4. 12. What's the other number? Is 3. That's going to come over. 3 over 12, which we now know is a 4. It was circles. What?
It's like I'm saying, and it's, we know this before.
Go, guys. Let's get it.
Nothing.
Thank you.
It's very long.
I didn't understand comparative absolute advantage when I was in high school. I remember like, oh, I don't even understand. Because I didn't have, it was just like, oh, just figure out what 1 is. Like if it's 3 and 12, like they didn't give us like how to do the math. It's just figure it out.
That's messed up.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know. So it wasn't until like college that I was like, oh, it's literally like the ratio.
What do you need to do?
Scoffs.
I would fail so fast. So the other number comes over 5 over 2, and that is 2.5, or 2.5.
Yeah, I knew
And then it's going to be 2 over 5, which is 2 fifths. We don't know
that. Oh,
that.
that's crazy.
Wow, it's like the numbers are reversed.
No way.
Yeah. And so did you know that if you like don't understand the difference between input and output, all of your answers from then on will be wrong? So you either get it all right or all wrong. Major grade Friday. Okay. So, hey Max, we're looking for the lowest number for each product. And so thumbs up everybody. Thumbs up everybody, thumbs up. Okay. When China makes shoes, in the time it takes them to make shoes, they could have made 4 cloths in that time. When India makes shoes, they could have made 2.5 cloths in that same time. And so who is giving it, Max? Who's giving it the least amount of cloths to make shoes? Because what? If I said and explain, because you would say because it's smaller. Because they have the lowest opportunity cost. Because 2.5 is less than the number 4. That would be your explanation. What a circle.
Yay.
Valerie, if China was to make cloth, the time it takes them to make cloth, they could have made 1/4 of a shoe in that time. If India makes cloth, they give up the opportunity to make 2/5 of a shoe in that time. Who's giving up less shoes to make cloth? China, because 1/4 is less than 2/5. And that is who has a comparative advantage for each thing, if it's an output problem. So let's write that down. Here's the table again. Simplify. For all you heathens that like things in decimal form, all garbage. This time, now China has, what?
You wrote it in decimal first.
When?
You said you don't like to be trying to do
Remember
a
when I was just
decimal.
gonna say five halves, you put 2.5.
Yeah, that's not.
That is
totally
decimal.
What?
That is
Yes, there's a decimal in it. It's not
Here's the
like,
Alright,
like
damage
0.4, totally a decimal. 2.5, that's like barely a decimal.
No, there's a
It's
decimal.
more of a whole number than a decimal number.
What?
It rounds to a whole number.
So then what's 1.5 and 0.5?
Oh, 1.5. That's why that's a whole number. Well, it's like, it's a
They're
whole.
both close
It's
to
a whole, but then it's half of the whole, but it's a whole half. China has a comparative advantage in cloth. Oh my gosh, what? I thought they had a comparative advantage in shoes. They did if it was input, but now it's totally backwards. And India has a comparative advantage in shoes.
You hear that noise? So I had to take my stupid test.
I apologize.
See, this is it always gonna be flipped? Like, it's always gonna be if China has an advantage in input.
Then the other one will be, okay.
No, but the thing is, you're not gonna be talking
No, you won't be doing input or output, but she's saying, will it always be like India has an answer for one and China's answer for another? Is that what you're asking? Okay. Up until last year, I would have said, yes, 100% of the time, China's going to be the answer to one and India will be the answer to the other. You won't have China have both or India have both.
If input, China has an advantage of shoes.
Then output will be the opposite? Yes.
Always.
Yes. Because it's a risk.
Okay.
Okay. So last year's FRQ was over comparative absolute advantage, and that had questions just like this. But it's very possible that it is. Because so many people got it like messed up last year, so they'd be like, eh. Okay. Here's the thing. Last year had the same ratio between like each country. So like the original table, it was like 1 and 2 and like 3 and 6 to So the ratio would be the same. It would be like half, right? So like you had to, now you look at the column and you had to like figure out what's less, but the answers were like 4 and 4. And it's like, who has the comparative advantage of cloth? Well, the answers were the same because the ratio was the same. And so the answer was
So what are both?
no, the answer is like who has the advantage.
Oh,
No one has, not ever, you can't have both people have an advantage. I guess you could, but like,
Yeah.
the rubric said no one. Which sucks because like, people ask me, will it ever be the same country that is the winner? And I'm like, no, because like, no AP test ever had that. No review book, no textbook, none of my years of college. Even Mr. Clipper himself made a video that says, oh, well, it's never going to be both. So if you ever see answers that say both or neither, you can scratch those out. But then on the AP test, it's all like, I feel like what's less or 4.
Always catching you.
Yeah.
I feel like college board is always going to have Mr. Clipper videos.
Probably. You know, like, oh, Mr. Clipper said that that's never going to happen. Well, that's going to be the main SRQ.
And there's only one videos too.
Yeah, I'm sure you too.
After like 12 years, you're like, this is content. Subscribe. We're gonna get our whole test.
Okay.
I think it's safe, right? They should pay you.
They should pay me. And stickers, hey, salary. Let's do some practice. Yeah. Yeah. I have like 70 something subscribers. I don't think you have any. I don't think you even know how to use the YouTube.
Me, you too. Pretty good.
I remember when I first started, like the first time I ever got, no, it's just
You could do like family vlogs or something.
Yeah. Oh my God, I love that.
You'd be like, hey guys, we're gonna go pick up our dog from the vet today. Come on with us.
I don't get why people do that. And then
Oh, they don't have a life of their own to live.
Have you watched the Aces episode? Yeah, that's tea.
And that's like, I'm going to prostitute my family out for like likes and upgrades.
Yeah, they do have a little tip for like, with these toys we bought you, we're gonna get $3 million than we could.
Get it. Go outside, look at a tree.
No,
Like,
these are for like portable.
okay, let's do the first one together. Hold on.
Like it's a guy,
Okay, so we have Deer, Antelope, Henry, and John. And we have, let me just rearrange the table. Oh, by the way, those of you that are working on your binder and getting it together since it's due on Thursday, this is number 10. So in the list of 10 things that you need in your binder, this right here is the last thing on the list. And now you have everything. Now you have everything that's on the list. Yes. So, Henry, John, whatever. So, on number 1, well, on all of these, you have to tell me who has an absolute advantage for both, and then who has a comparative advantage for both. And so I would just like have your answers look like this: absolute advantage for deer, absolute advantage for antelope, comparative advantage for deer, and comparative advantage for antelope. So, Sam, read the title of our table. Okay.
number cost per day.
Okay, so the very first thing before you do anything else is you determine whether it's an input or output problem. So Sam, if this is the number of deer and antelope caught per day, is this going to be an input or output problem? It is an output problem because they're producing catches. So
Per day.
they each get the same day, so they each get the same resource. It's what they produce with those resources that are different. That's what this table is. This is not hours to catch deer and antelope. This is how much they catch in a day. Okay, so they're outputting catches. And so for absolute advantage, we're just looking to see who's better at deer and antelope. So Ethan, who can catch more deer? 24 is more than 4 by about 20. So I'm going to say, yeah, you're right. It is John. John's such a manly man. Oh my god. Antelope. Who can catch the most antelope? Absolute advantage?
Alcoholics Anonymous.
Nope, that would be, oh yeah, that would be A. I was gonna say, that's triple A, that's something different. People that are alcoholics probably need triple A. You know, because all their drunk driving. It's, like they help you with like, oh, you need a tow truck. Oh, they have a flat tire, you call triple A. It's for people that don't know like basic things. Okay, what?
Can you change the light?
What? My daddy can.
Oh, you're calling because you want to talk to me? Anything else? No, my.
Do you want to change the tire? How old are you?
My husband?
Yeah.
Usually if there's something like around the house that needs to be fixed, he's the flashlight holder and I.
That's my mom.
Yeah. He's like, let's call someone. I'm like, I can fix whatever.
Okay,
I'm
you
ready.
can mistake
The output, Julia, what is the saying for output problems? If it's output, how do we do the math figure out comparative advantage? Which one is it? Does this become the numerator or the denominator? Does it become the numerator or does the other number come over for output? Output is denominator, meaning the other number comes over. So you put your marker on the first box, the other number is what? 6. So the other number comes over, and it's over. The other number, 4, comes over. Output. The other number comes over. So for 24, the other number is 12, and that comes over. The other number is 24 comes over. And now you simplify. Sam, what's 6 over 4? 3 over 2. I'll take it. It's fine. What's 4 over 6? 2/3. Yes. Oh, nope. Not like that. Okay. What is Max? What's 12 over 24?
Oh, it's 6 over 12.
I heard half. Good job. And then this one is 2. Okay, for comparative advantage, we're looking for, remember, the lowest opportunity cost. So, Zoe, who has the lowest opportunity cost for deer? Is it Henry with 3 halves of an antelope, or is it John with a half of an antelope? It is John. Half is less than 3 halves.
John's killing it today.
John is. He's actually literally killing deer. But no, he should only be killing deer. Comparative advantage. Yeah, that's the whole point. He's killing it. He's killing too many things. He needs to specialize his killing on deer. Well, let's look at antelope. We have 2/3 of a deer and 2 deer.
Just
Henry.
It's Henry. Because 2/3 is less than 2. Henry.
Okay, so this happens.
So the answer is John, Henry. What? But don't you like it how like John should do deer? John deer. You know, whatever.
They're
We're gonna learn those things.
Y'all.
Yikes.
Walk the ag farm for like 1 second. I smell like lumber and like leather belts and belt buckles.
Belt buckles and boots.
Boots and steer.
And manure.
Manure. And you know, there's like 3 people that are like, I have rabbits. And they're like, okay. So, thanks Tina for watching.